Hello, welcome back. So in the last video tutorial we were able to display the to-dos here. Okay, so when we go back and then we click on this, we can see all the to-dos for a particular task. Okay, so I think the fetch for the to-dos, okay, the code for the fetch for the to-dos, and then the task is currently okay for now. Okay, but we will also work on it further on. But for now, I think we are done with we at least we know how the fetch works, okay, fetching from the PHP, how it works, and then how we can display or use that in our scope model, and then we can display it in the pages. Okay, so I think for now we can move forward and then talk about how we can post to our PHP database from our app. How are we going to do that? So we will first start with by writing a single PHP code. I mean simple PHP API for the code. Okay, sorry for the noise at the background. Okay, so we already have this to do's API here, where we have the get all and then the get all to tasks and then get all to do's. Okay, so I'm going to write a new code here, for example, and then save it as add let's say tax for now. I'll say add tax and I'll give it as .php. Okay, so we are just going to write a simple API for that. So we have to include what we have there. Okay, so let's just do the PHP. So I'm not just going to explain plenty about the PHP since you already know that. So with this one, we are going to include the config, okay, the config so that we can get access to our database configuration. So we have include here, and then we know that it's in the config folder and then config.php. Okay, so we have this one, and then it's a post request. So what are we going to post? So we know that for we look at the thing, yeah, for every task we have to post in what the title and then the description. Okay, so we are going to do that, but then okay, let's just go ahead and do that. So we need a title which we are going to accept through a post. Okay, and then we can say we expect a post to be titled, and then we also need the user ID. I'm sorry, I say user ID, the description. Okay, and then with the description also we also need that. So we have the post and then we can say description. So that means when we are posting from our app, okay, we have to make sure that we post it by using this how do I say it, these names. Okay, so we have that being added, and now we can create a simple array here which will be what we will post to the we will send as a response to what the app when the person do the post. Okay, so we will also do a query. Okay, let's just do the query and then say my SQLi query, and then we have to pass in our connection. I think the name is connection, right? Because when I check from my config, I saved it as connection. So connection. What's happening? Okay, so I have it as connection here, and then I can write in. I can put my query here. But the query, I'll just create a simple query here. Let's say SQL query here, and then I'll put the query here. So we want to insert into what tax. I think that's the name of the thing tax. And then what are the fields that we want to insert there? We want to insert what title, okay, and then we also want to insert the description. Description, yeah, something like this. Okay, so now we can have the values, and then what are the values that we want to put there? We want to put in these values, which are the titles, and then the description. Okay, so we will come inside here, and then we will put in our, and then we can say title. Oh, sorry, title. Okay, and then we have to separate it by what comma, and then we can say description. Okay, so we are inserting. I think you know this simple PHP, so I won't explain. I'm just writing the code for that, and then we can put the SQL query here. Okay, So I think this is our simple SQL query that we can insert into our database. Now we also can check if the query was successful. If query what is the code? Okay, if the query was successful, then what do we want to do? We can put a message back to what we can send a message back to the app that this was successful. So we can say success, and then we can put a message here like um adding adding tags was successful. Okay, and then I can end this. Okay, and then I can echo the results. So JSON dot decode, and then I can echo the results here. If the query fails here, then what am I going to do? I'm going to send a response that this query what fail. Okay, so I'm going to say error, and I'm going to say adding tags failed, something like this. And with this one too, I'll just echo the final results. Okay, so I'll save this, and then I will use Postman to check how this works, because I can't use the browser to do the post just like the way I'm using the browser to do the get. Okay, so I'm going to use Postman to do that. Is opening. I should have opened it before. So Postman is loading, and then when it's downloading, we are going to use the Postman to try and post into our database and see if it will work. So let me quickly open the local host, and then localhost slash php myadmin. Okay. quick. My internet, I think my internet or something is kind of slow here. Okay, it's coming. So we know the endpoint is what to do's, and then we are saying that add tax. I think that's what we did. Okay, that's the file name. So when we come here, we can see add tax.php here. Okay, so this is the endpoint to do's slash add tax.php. So I have this endpoint add task.php added here, but it is not a get request, it is a post request. And with a post request, we also have to add in the body. I'm sorry, not the body. I think we have to add in the parameters. We have to add in the parameters to the thing. So we have the key and then the value. So with this one, we know that the key is what the title, and then what is the title that we want to use? Um let's say work workshop tax. Okay, and then we also need another one called, let's say, the description. So we are posting, and these are the fields that we need. And then I'll say these these are the to-dos I have to do in my workshop, something like this. Okay, so we are using this, and then let's send a post request and see. So let's see what we get back, and we get the requested URL was not found on this server, which is so interesting because the requested URL was not found on this server. Why are we not getting what we are getting? And it's because I think let's just go inside the app, okay, and then copy this here. Let's just copy this whole thing again, okay, and then with this one, let's just come and paste it here, okay. So this time we are using this, and we are using a post we are using a post here. So post here, and then we can go ahead with let me see. So get all to dos. Okay, so we have this here. Okay, so we can just um let me see. We have this post here, so we can put in our parameters again. Let's try our parameters again here. and then we can go and then says let's say some workshop, and then we can have the description, and then we can also put this is the description of the task. Then let's try again. Okay, so I think this time it went, but I'm getting some funny. Oh, okay, it's not supposed to be get all to do's, supposed to be get all, not get or add tax. Okay, so let's try again and see. Add tax, let's try again, and then we still get an error. Let's see if the endpoint is correct. Oh, it's add tax, not add tax. Sorry. So let's see if our endpoint works. So I'll run again. And this time it's working, but we are getting an error which is saying undefined index title and then description. Okay, so it's saying this are not defined in our code. So let's just check it very well. I think where's the PHP code? Okay, so we have it here. So we don't have title. This these ones are throwing an error. Which okay, let's check our database and see if what we are doing is correct. So let's see the PHP to do, and it's tax, not tax. So let's just remove this one here. Save the code again, and where's the thing here? Let's run it again, and after saving, we are still getting the same error, which is to say title and then description is not defined. Okay, so let's see on line 5 and line 6. So let's see why line 5 and line 6 is saying that we don't have these things defined, which I don't understand why we don't even have it defined. But we have title here, we have this here. This is saying that these two things are not defined. Okay, so let's see why. We go back and then we go to the config and then config PHP and it works. But why is it not defined? Let's see the Postman again. All right, so we are adding this to the database and it's supposed to work. Title and description is supposed to work, but let's see body, form data. Let's use form data instead of the other one. So let's go to title and then let's do some title. Okay, and let's do description. I think using Postman, I'm using it wrongly, and I can do some description. Now let's post again and see something. And this time it goes in, and then we have these errors. Okay, so I think what I was using was wrong. I was using the params, and that was not the right way to do it. But the code is all right. So we have this, and then we have the body here. Okay, so with this body here, we have at an error on the line 16. Okay, so let's check on line 16. What error are we getting? And it's because we have JSON.decode instead of JSON.encode. So we are encoding, not decoding here. So we have to encode, not decode. Sorry about that. So now I come in here and then I post. Let's see we get a response. Now it's saying our task was successful. So this some title and some description went into the database. So let's see. So I think there are two things that we push and didn't work. That's what is giving us this empty things here. So I'll just go ahead and delete them. So delete and then yes. I think I will delete this extra one too. Yes. So I have some 30 inside. So this time I'm going to add a meaningful one. So let's say workshop tax. And then I have this thing here. And then I can say these are the to-dos I have to do at the workshop. Sorry, workshop. So now when I post, I get a response which says adding was successful. So if the adding was successful, let's check if it was successful and I have it here. So that means this time we have an endpoint where we can pass in hot our we can insert something into the database. So this is a small API for us to insert into our database. So that's correct. So I'll end the video here, okay? And then I'll record video to write the code here. So we this way we will come and write the code to add tags to the database. Okay. I think or should I just go ahead and then do, let me see the time. I have 15 minutes. Okay. So okay, you let's just go ahead and do this then. Oh, no, it will take a longer time. So I'll end it here because you have to do something at the front end before we even come here. So I'll end it here and then do a recording in the next video tutorial. See you guys.